A common question in the forums is how to create figures in Poser, or how to set up figures in Poser. Now let's take a look at this card here. We can select different parts and manipulate them using the parameters. Now we can open and close the size of the card and also turn the wheels. Okay, that's very good. Now, in order to make your object compatible with Poser, you have to consider a few things. Let's go to our modeling application, and here we have our 3D object. Now, Poser expects your object to be separated into polygon groups. This is very important because each polygon group represents a figure part that can be manipulated, and also each polygroup is going to have a bone assigned to it. So let's go ahead and separate this figure into different polygroups. Now, the procedure might be different for the application that you use, but the objective, like I said, is to separate the 3D object into polygon groups. Now I'm going to name this left wheel, now right wheel, and this is the front of the cart. Oops. Okay. Now, 3D Max particularly does not handle polygon groups, so I have to separate it into different meshes. Okay, and once I export this as a waveform object kind of file, all the meshes are going to be turned into a single mesh with different polygroups. But this is particular to 3ds Max. Now we export our object. Also, keep in mind that when you name the groups, it's very important that you use sensitive names, because those names are going to be used to create the bones in Poser so that you can move the figure. Now let's get rid of this one. Let's bring in the object just created. Oh, also, let me cancel this. Also, the settings for the import options, everything should be deselected, and it's up to you to, if you want to let Poser figure out the size. Okay, relative to a standard Poser figure, like a human figure, I mean. So let's bring in the cart. Okay, there it is. Now you'll notice that right now the object is still a single object. There are no other parts or groups. But if we select the grouping tool, now you can see the groups that we create. Now the cart is our main object, our main group. There's the left wheel, the right wheel, and the front. Okay. Now we have to assign a bone to each of these groups. Our main bone is going to be assigned to the main group. In this case, is a cart. Now, to do that, we have to change to the setup tab or the setup room where we can create the bones. Now, using the bone creation tool, let's create the first one, the main bone, that we're going to name cart, just like we name the polygon group for the cart. Okay, it's very important, it has exactly the same name. Next, we create the bone for the left wheel. Okay, name it left wheel. Now select the main bone again, which is the cart, before creating the next bone. There we go. Right wheel. And the bone for the front. Okay. Now name this front. Okay, now the next step is aligning each of the bones to the different body parts. Okay, the front should be right there. Also, left wheel and right wheel are, but okay, they're down there, so let's bring them up. Let's bring these other up. Let's move the main body part, which is the cart. Let's bring it up. The front goes over here. Let's bring the wheels down again. Okay, so it's very quickly we align the bones. Okay, we might have to tweak this later, but we can go back to the pose room and we can see our figure now is separated into different body parts. So you go to body parts, we have the cart, left, right, and front. We try to move now any of these parts, like the front. You'll see that it moves the entire figure. That's because bending on this part is activated, so it's trying to bend the whole object like it is a organic figure. But this is not an organic figure, so we can safely go to the properties of the object or the part and deselect bend. Okay, so deselect that for the front and deselect it for the cart, the main body part. And now our figure can be manipulated correctly without bending the whole thing. Okay, and that works fairly well. Let's see the wheel. Yes, we can probably fix that by aligning the bone in a better way. Okay, but that's it. That's the way you bring or you create or set up figures inside Poser. If you have any questions, you can post it in the comments below.